Friday, going back to way back. BU Field used to go on Friday nights.
Yep.
And the first Friday night game, I didn't make it because my wife got a call from the church to ask her if she would replace someone that's sick to call bingo. You know the bingo numbers?
Right.
And so I didn't make the Denver Broncos.
September 9th, 1960, first game. Yeah.
13-10 they lost.
Yep.
Gene Mingo kicked the field goal to win the game. It was a Friday night.
Right.
And that game I missed, and the other game I missed all those years. 3-0 Miami snowplow.
September of 82. Yeah.
My wife wouldn't let us go because it was supposed to be a major snowstorm. I don't drive. She didn't want my son driving.
Right.
So we didn't go. So it's two of the games that I had missed in all that time. I originally became a season ticket holder with Joe Costello, his brother John Costello. They came from Jamaica Plain. Charlie Peterson, Larry Fahey, and myself. And we all worked together years ago for a drug company in Boston and a liquor company. And that's how we got together and asked each other, we don't want to join up, get involved in season tickets. And Marty supposedly, his nickname was Marty. Yeah. And he supposedly became the first season ticket holder of the New England Patriots. Even the office girls got to know him, and they even had a jersey made from #1 fan. Yeah, that's about that. Yeah, I was impressed with that. I was glad for him.
Well, this is Bob Hilberg. I'm at Gillette Stadium, and I'm here. What's your first name?
John.
John. Guy that hasn't missed a game. Been season ticket holder since 1960. And we're just reminiscing about some of the games and some of the history of the New England/Boston Patriots. So you go back to 1960, you missed the first game, and then you saw some of the games against the LA Chargers and the Dallas Texans and the New York Titans.
Houston, New York Titans, Houston Oilers.
Oh.
That's my grandson saying to me now, Pop, what are you talking about? We're talking about history, you know. The New York Titans, and I brought it up. I says, the first Pop Warner football team that I ever coached in South Boston. The name of it was the South Boston Titans, believe it or not.
There you go.
And I was telling my grandsons, and I said, you guys don't know it, but years ago, before the New York Jets, the name of the team was the New York Titans.
Yeah.
And the New York Titans. I says, yeah, now it's the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. So for the first couple of years, it was the New York Titans, 60, 61, and 62, and then 63, they became the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
They used to play in Polo grounds.
Polo grounds, yeah. Old Giant Stadium.
Yeah.
New York, right.
And they changed the name to the Jets. I guess the guy that owned the Titans had some financial problems, and he sold the team.
Yeah. Whatever the situation.
Yeah. But then they became the Jets.
I was never a big New York fan. I'm
there you go.
New England, Boston fan. Braves, Red Sox, Bruins, the whole works.
So you saw games at Boston College, Boston University.
Harvard Stadium, Fenway Park.
So back in the day, the Giants were big on Sundays, so they played on Friday nights.
That's exactly it.
BU.
That's when the league started. That's it. As a matter of fact, the Patriots played the first game in the American Football League.
That's correct, yeah.
On that Friday night.
September 9, 1960 against Denver, right?
That's right.
So what were the crowds like in Friday nights? Was it?
Well, Friday nights, I'd say, I think they started out drawing about 15,000, 20,000, which was big for Nickerson BU Field.
Right.
And then, I would say sometimes it all depends what team came in.
Right.
Probably 20, 25,000.
What were some of the big teams that you? I mean, was it Houston or Buffalo or
Well, and Buffalo was a big draw. San Diego Chargers.
Oh yeah. The Raiders probably.
Oh, definitely. Oakland Raiders, definitely. But
Al Davis.
yeah, those were the big draws, and you might get 20 to 22,000 people at those games. But then they moved on to Fenway Park.
Yeah, 1963 to 68,
Right.
they played at Fenway Park.
Right.
What was it like to watch the game there? Was it did you get good seats?
Well,
Did you move around?
we sat in left field, the portable stands. They used to put the portable stands
So in front of the Green Monster, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we sat. Naturally, we sat on the 50-yard line.
There
We
you
were
go.
up 7 rows from the field.
Yeah.
And Fenway Park, to me, drew more fans than they did at BU Field. That was my remembering. But that's where I invited what I had done, I got additional tickets. I gave up my ticket, not my season ticket, but my season ticket for that game to one of the guys so they can take a relative. And I went and bought 3 tickets for my dad, his friend Adam, and we went to the Patriots game. And Ron Burton just came back from an injury up in Buffalo. They beat Buffalo up in Buffalo. And then they came down here, and Cookie Gilchrist had a big day, and the Patriots could beat bad.
Yeah, that was the end of the 63 season, yeah.
That's exactly, and that was at Fenway Park. I know it was at Fenway.
Exactly
It was
right,
a major snowstorm, as a matter of fact,
Yeah.
during the day, and we ended up in a bar in Boston and stayed there overnight, believe it or not. And matter of fact, the Kilmarnock Cafe in the Fenway, in the back bay, and there were a bunch of people, we don't know it at the time, pounding on the door to get in, and the owner, the bartender, goes over to the door and says, "No, we're sorry, we're closed. Well, we're from Buffalo, Now, we're Polish guys, and Buffalo's noted for having a lot of Polish people up there. So I walk over with my dad over to the door, and I said something in Polish, and somebody, heard it, and he let about 20 of them came in, and we partied all night long, believe it or not, with all the Buffalo fans.
Yeah, that was December 28, 1963.
Yeah,
Bob D, well, I got a chance to do some research. Bob D had a sneaker on one foot and a cleat on the other foot because it was snow and some parts of the field were kind of clear. And he got 2 interceptions in the game because he had maneuverability. If he was sliding on the snow, he'd dig in with his cleats and stuff. And he's a local guy from Braintree, Quincy. Yeah, Braintree.
Chuck Shanta, at the beginning of that game, he got a concussion. I'd say might have been the first set of downs.
Oh, really?
Are they making it by, Jay? And Chuck Shanta, I'll never forget, got a concussion. Had to leave the game, and that was he played safety.
Right. He was a good safety. Played a long time with him.
Yeah, oh yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
And Ross O'Hanley, another guy from Everett.
Ross.
He had a big game that game.
He wasn't a big guy, he was only a little guy.
So he probably filled in for Sean.
I would think so. I forget that's going back 50 years.
Yes, 1963. It was certainly a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then you had a lot of guys from Boston College, Larry Eisenhower,
A lot of
Jimmy
guys.
Colclaw,
Sure. Art Graham.
Matt Young High School.
They used to, fan appeal. They figured, local players.
Right.
And that's what's going to happen. They'll draw, just like years back when they had Butch Song.
And first year, right, from Walpole. So it was kind of a family atmosphere.
Oh, sure.
Did you you get a chance to meet any of the players after the game, or any of the?
No, not really, because you know, we'd always go back to. Joe lived in Jamaica Plain near Forest Hills.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And his wife would have dinner for us ready, you know, like that. So we didn't stay out late or tailgate late at that time.
Yeah, there probably wasn't a lot of tailgating back then.
No.
Get into the city and get out.
Because you were in the city.
Right.
Not like here, big parking lot.
Exactly.
And then you can relax and you meet so many different people.
Well, this is November, and we're talking about a game that happened 50 years ago against the Dallas Texans. Another Friday night game at Boston University, and Cotton Davidson throws a pass, and Chris Burford runs out of bounds at about the two-yard line, and there's about 5,000 people on the sidelines because they sold some extra tickets, and people were just standing around, and they ran onto the field, but the officials said, no, wait a minute, we got one more play left. So they pushed everyone back onto the field, and the last play of the game, Cotton Davidson's going to throw a quick slant pass to Chris Burford, and the guy runs onto the goal line and kind of breaks up the pass a little bit. What do you remember about that game?
Well, I'm trying to think of who was the fullback. Curtis McClendon, was it?
Clinton? Probably,
Curtis, yeah, I think so. And like you said, Cotton Davidson, the quarterback. And, well, I remember in the newspapers the next day with a 12th player on the field.
Thanks for the help. Thank you.
And they try to, you know what I mean, build it up. But hey, the game was over. You know, that's what counted. You know, and that's when the fans are excited. You know,
we won the game.
Yeah.
It would have tied the game because Patriots were winning 28-21, and actually the last point scored were Ron Burton ran back a kickoff for a touchdown, so that was the final point scored in the 28-21. But everyone tried to figure out who was this guy in this khaki coat that ran onto the field, and to this day we don't know who he was.
Yeah, a trench coat, trench coat.
It was probably white and vodka.
We're going to show a clip of that during the show. It's actually on YouTube and on the history of the AFL, so part of the show, we'll show that a little bit later. We'll kind of splice that in there. And then we go to Fenway Park, and actually 47 years ago today is Gino Cappelletti kicked the field goal to beat Houston. It was the last second of the game.
Is that right?
Yeah. Babe Parilli, it was a tough game, back and forth, and Babe Parilli runs out of bounds with about 1 second left, and then they had to run onto the field. And the thing about Gino is he had a shoe that was kind of square-toed.
Square-toed, I remember that, yeah. Like Ben Agajanian from the San Diego Chargers, I'm pretty sure he had a square-toed boot too. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of surprised because I felt it was to your advantage having the square toe instead of the rounded toe.
Right.
But how they got away with it, I think Agajanian lost part of while he was in the military or something.
He was in World War II,
to that effect. So they had a special boot made for him. But I remember about Gino Cappelletti having a square toe. It was brought to our attention. The fans.
Sure, yeah, and his shoes are in the Patriots Hall of Fame. You can actually see. We'll show a picture of that as well. And that was the thing. Sometimes they had to change his shoe. You know, here's a receiver. You know, 64 is the MVP of the league.
Right, he scored the most points.
Yeah.
I forgot what year it was because he was a receiver and a field goal kicker.
He got 20 points in the game 8 times, and got 28 points in the game.
Yeah.
You know, he was the star of the team, really.
Oh yeah. He was a big player. No, it wasn't Minnesota. Did he come from Minnesota?
He did come from Minnesota.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And then, of course, Babe Parilli and Jim Nantz.
Oh, Jim Nantz. He was an inspirational player because he came from Syracuse.
Right.
You know, just like Jimmy Brown, Davis, you know.
Right.
Syracuse great fullbacks, you know. So there was a history there, you know. As a matter of fact, I used to see him the last few years when he was living in Quincy. I'd see him around Quincy, and he had a stroke. You know what I mean? He wasn't doing too well at the time.
had 3 MVPs of the league. Gino Cappelletti in '64, Jim Nance in '67, and of course Brady's won it twice. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Nance was a tremendous player.
Yeah.
I rank him as the greatest running back we've ever had.
Matter of fact, my son, don't you have a throwback jersey with his 35 on it? Yeah.
That's how we met.
Oh, was that tight?
So yeah,
I didn't bring it today.
that's all right. Anyone wearing a Nance's jersey is all right with me, you know.
Monday night against Kansas City. I shouldn't wear it though because of the red.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. People be throwing drinks at you.
But Finley Park, we had, you know, a couple decent years, and then it started to fall down a little bit, and then we got Jim Plunkett, '71.
Yeah. Him and Randy Bataha.
The Stanford connection, yeah.
There you go. And who was one of the top draft picks in the country at that time? Ron Sellers.
Ron Jingle Joint Sellers, yeah.
Right,
Florida
yeah.
State, yeah.
Yeah, right. And they raved about him and all that, and he didn't impress me in the least. You know, and he didn't last too long.
Yeah, he had a couple games. He went to
Yes,
Dallas.
Right,
you
right.
know.
He went to Dallas, right.
But he didn't like going over the middle. They call him jingle joints because you know, if you hit him, you could hear his joints jingle.
Yeah, I remember.
Down the sidelines, fine. But
Yes, that's exactly right. But, Randy Bataha, number 18, and Jim Plunkett, number 16.
what a combination, too.
Oh,
And Randy
were
Bataha
they,
was a little guy, too.
That's exactly right. Sure. Yeah.
And you figure these receivers, you know, 6'2", something like that. Randy Bataha was,
He was about 5'8".
Like Wes Walker today.
yeah.
5'8", 5'9".
But he got a way to get open,
Yeah.
and, you know,
Yeah.
he burned some guys deep.
That's
I mean, one of the first games that really put him on the map was in '71.
against the Oakland Raiders here.
Right.
You know that opening game.
Opening day, Plunkett, yeah.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Catching the bombs.
And then, you know, as we got developed, we got Andy Johnson, Darryl Stingley, and Sam Van Cunningham, and we started putting together a nucleus. Chuck Fairbanks was here now,
That's right.
and things started to turn around a little bit.
Yes.
But now you're playing here at Schaefer Stadium.
Right.
What was the atmosphere like at Schaefer Stadium?
Well, Schaefer Stadium, you started getting, 25, 30,000 at games.
Yeah.
And the solid, them 25, 30 were solid Patriots fans.
Same time.
Oh,
Same
yeah,
people all the
same
time.
people all the time.
You got a
same
chance to
people.
meet people, and when you're sitting in a
Yeah.
group, you all know each other.
Right, and I used to meet a lot of people.
Harvard Stadium, they played 1970. They played one game, I think, in '62. But they only had one locker room. And so the opposing team would use the locker room, and the Patriots would show up, and they, have their uniform on pretty much in the parking lot, and just walk into the stadium. So it wasn't like we see nowadays with Gillette, all this expansion.
I remember them, the Patriots, practicing in East Boston Stadium.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right near the airport. Mike Hollaback was coaching at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, they talk about watching film on a bed sheet and sitting on milk crates watching the film.
There you go. Yeah.
No video back then.
It was a poor franchise, originated, Billy Sullivan,
Right.
And then you got Sergeant, from what I understand, and Danny Ma, those were the New England sponsored the New England, the Boston
So Don
Patriots.
DiMaggio, was one of the first owners.
Sergeant, I
Yep.
believe.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember about ownership. Billy Sullivan, I thought was a great guy. He was down to earth.
You relate to him, yeah?
Country music.
And getting back to that Dallas Texans game.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That's where I met Lamar Hunt.
Oh, really?
Private, well, it was not like a private box, but they set up a private place, and an attorney that my father-in-law had known, Mr. McGarry, and he had said to my father-in-law, he says, Lamar Hunt is coming into Boston, and he's going to be sitting in the box. And I was wondering if John, his son-in-law, I know he's a season ticket holder, if he wouldn't mind sitting in the box with me.
Wow.
So it was up in Fenway Park, right above third base in the end zone.
Yeah.
And so I said to my father-in-law, I says, why not? You know, I says, he was great for finding the American Football League.
Oh yeah, right.
Lamar Hunt.
Lamar Hunt, yeah. They call it the Lamar Hunt Trophy nowadays.
But,
Right.
so I did, and it was a high Hawaii, and said to me, somebody that worked at the Fenway Park brought in some hot chocolate for him. And he says, John, would you like some hot chocolate? You know, I said, no, thank you. He's sitting like 3-4 rows in back, all by himself, just like I'm over. But I'm on the front, so I was close to the glass, you know, and because it was winter, you know, it was winter time.
Sure.
And he says to me, he says, after the game, he says, well, you're a great fan. He says, I was watching the game. And I said, well, thank you very much. He says, I'm just a fan, that's why I'm noisy. You know what I mean? I'm really into it. That was a thrill for me.
Oh, I bet, absolutely. He's a giant in the industry.
Yes, right. To be off and that on the clear blue, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I had to tell that story.
Oh, absolutely, love that kind of story.
So then we've gone to Super Bowls.
Yeah.
1985 when
Went to New Orleans.
New Orleans, the Bears, refrigerator,
What was it like leading up to that, though? I mean, here we were a wild card team. We're going to beat the Jets. We got to beat the Raiders. We got to beat Miami. Those are huge games.
Right. So so the season's going along, and we make arrangements. We're going to Miami to play Miami.
Right.
So my son, our next door neighbor Neil and his dad Dan, and I, Neil. His sister works for a travel agency, so she sets up the plan for us
to go to Chicago Bears game. I mean the Miami game. The Miami game first.
Where's the fish?
Yeah, right. We stayed in a hotel on Collins Ave.
We're the ones that hung the signs on the hotel windows.
Miami.
We did that.
I'll have to look that up.
Squish the fish. Squish the fish. We put a sign out there. We made it on the beach. Remember that time? We went and bought sheets and spliced them together and laid them out on the beach. Spray cans of paint. Started squishing the fish. Welcome to you're welcome to the fish fry.
New England style fish fry.
Yeah, 3:30 in the afternoon at the Orange Bowl. You know,
Fish fry.
you're all welcome. We hung it from the
Our hotel was down.
two floors down.
Hung over their windows. We went in and knocked on their doors and asked them if we could hang some
We
signs.
sealed the windows with tied ropes on it, made a knot on the other so it wouldn't slip out. Oh yeah, that's
The funny part about it is the hotel was asking, people were coming to the hotel asking about the fish fry they were having that Sunday, not realizing it had something to do with the NFL.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I love your advertisement. Yeah, that's
There you go, because it was right facing from the parking lot.
Right to the highway and everything else.
So the next morning, the game was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was a drizzly, rainy day, and
podcast.
at 6 o'clock in the morning, I looked asleep at the window.
Yeah.
So 6 o'clock in the morning, I hear this humming sound. Like, looks out the window. Oh, that's a helicopter. There's a guy outside the helicopter with when the side doors open,
Right.
with a camera, taking pictures of that sound.
Oh, yeah.
Now we don't know this.
Yeah.
We figured there must be video somewhere out there.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can dig it up. I'm sure I can dig it up.
What happened? We will see it. Remember, we called that night after they beat Miami for Neil's sister to make arrangements for us for the Super Bowl.
Flight down to New Orleans.
Right down in New Orleans, right away.
My mother and my wife had to go down here the next day to get the tickets for the Super Bowl tickets for us because they put them on sale that next Monday morning.
Right.
And if we weren't here, which we wouldn't be,
Right.
we were going to lose out. So they had to come down and get them.
Teamwork.
So anyway, getting back to the sign, I think when we had talked, when Neil had called his sister, she says, you know, where you were, they showed the big sign on the hotel, because he told her about hanging a sign out the sheets, hanging out the windows of the hotel. That was on like CNN News, and so it had to be out throughout the whole country, you know, what the New England fans were doing in Miami.
And I'll tell you, the people in Miami gave us a lot of grief, threw stuff at us and everything else. Not only because they had no idea that we were going to beat them, but as we beat them, you know, the second half they started pelting us, but then they all disappeared as the game started to run down. They left, you know, because they were so embarrassed the way they act, I think. And then to see the Patriots actually finally beat the Dolphins in Miami, especially the biggest game of their career at that point.
Marino was hot. You know,
Oh yeah. Dan Marino was the quarterback in the NFL at that point.
Yeah,
we beat them up bad too.
oh yeah, it was like, I was going to
Weathers
say,
was
like
the
32
guy
to
in that
17 or something.
Right? Robert Weathers.
Robert, Tony Collins,
Robert Weathers, some key first downs, everything.
Right, did Robert Weathers have a brother on the same team?
Clarence
Defensive
Weathers,
Clarence. There you go.
He was
I mentioned his name the other day. That's exactly right.
Oh, receiver.
He was a receiver. And so we did, and the fans were very unruly. Now, we were sitting on the 50-yard line in Miami with these people, the hoi polloi, put it that way, all right? The hoi polloi, the hair parted in the middle, orange on one side, turquoise or whatever you call it, chartreuse, whatever you want to call it. Oh, unbelievable, right? And so now the game's going along and we're rooting them on. Now Dan had just, I felt terrible because he just had eye surgery. Cataract surgery. And I'm saying to myself, oh, geez, they started pelting us with ice cubes.
Oh, it's 20
you know, and it's, that was the dad of Neil, Neil's dad. You know?
Okay.
And I felt terrible about it. And I remember having a hooded rain jacket on because, like I said, it was a drizzly, foggy day. So I said to him, I offered him my jacket because of the hood. I figured would protect him. You know? And that's all I was worried about. But that's how, right on the 50-yard line. You would never expect that. You'd say 50-yard line. Oh, these people have to be, you know, cool. They don't care who the hell's winning. They just got their drink in their hand, and that's all they care about. The impressionists, put it that way. But to do that to her, I was stunned.
It's going to be dark.
You know.
It's going to be pitch black.
But that was a bad incident. And then we proceeded to trounce them, put it that way.
Yeah, we beat them up pretty bad. Huh?
Right, and going to the Super Bowl. I guess
Worst beating that I ever saw.
Yeah, I mean, no one was going to beat them.
Oh, they were so riled up. They were fiery.
All faces.
Right, that's exactly right. But the fans, the Bears fans, outstanding. Outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
How they treated
down in Bourbon Street and everything else the day before, the night after.
Pat O'Brien's,
in the stands,
even the night
great
after
people.
the game.
People of Chicago, great people.
That's exactly right.
What do you remember about Steve Grogan?
Steve Grogan's one of the
toughest
iconic as far as Patriots goes.
Right. He was
Tough as nails.
real tough guy. You know, he'd go up to an lineman's face and what had to be said was said privately. But that's the way he was.
Some decent teams, and then you move on to Drew Bledsoe and Kraft, and 93, 94, 95, 96, and they go to another Super Bowl.
We were there. Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers.
To this day, he still doesn't believe Brett Favre scored that touchdown.
Right, on the inside of the cone, never in a million. I don't care. He did not. The ball, to me, the ball was in that hand. Like a runner when he runs to the sideline, he's going to run with the ball to the sideline to protect. So he had the ball in that hand. His hand was in, but when he
touch the ball, right?
after the pylon, you know, on the opposite side of the pylon.
No.
So to be on the opposite side of the pylon, how can you be in the end zone? You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly right, yeah.
If it's on the opposite side of the pylon. Yeah. Like my son
But
said.
they gave it to him anyway.
Right.
Yeah, Red 5 and all that stuff.
Well, there you
The
go.
mystique of,
If you were doing something in the NFL, you could fill a full book about him anyway.
yeah.
Oh yeah, 20 years, that's
And
right.
he's never really done anything. It's the only time I ever won, and he didn't win it.
Oh, I know.
I mean, he threw a couple long touchdown passes, you know. He beat Willie Clay a couple times, but I mean, Bledsoe and Ben Coates and Curtis Martin. I mean, that was
You got great
some
teams.
fun
Great
fun
How
games
we
to watch.
ever,
Then.
how we ever lost a player to Curtis? I blame Parcells for that. Curtis Martin going on the Jets. Yeah, he was a great runner, Curtis Martin. I could never imagine a player of that caliber leaving. You know what I mean?
Right.
Going to another team.
And he was tremendous. I mean, he
I'm telling you.
he's fluid.
He played with heart too. You can
Well,
tell.
that's what it
He
was.
was tough.
That's why he's probably a cripple nowadays. You know what I mean? But
So what was it like when they finally beat the Rams? What was you feeling like? Here you've been a fan for 50 years. You've been going through the ups and downs. You've had some issues where you've been to the Super Bowls now, and then all of a sudden Vinatieri's lining up. What were your thoughts then?
I think the moment just goes blank. You know what I mean? I remember him lining up, but
Was this
I
happening? Really? It was
I
like
just,
surreal?
right, there you go. Right.
There's got to be a penalty.
Yeah, because-
Yeah, first Ben's right when you need him,
because
right?
we weren't there at the Super Bowl. You know, we were watching.
we didn't go to
on
that.
TV.
That's all
We
right.
didn't go to them, and we were watching, and then all of a sudden, after it happened, whoa, just the house started shaking. You know,
I mean, Gil calling it, you know.
I'll never forget it. You know. Yeah.
You got Brady, the MVP, and then Teddy Bruschi.
behind him.
Oh yeah.
We win 3 out of 4, really.
Right.
They give you a satisfaction that
Oh, yeah.
you've been a fan for so long, and now it's starting to pay off. With the championships.
But the sad thing is, when they became a winner, and being a season ticket holder all the years, you stop getting chances at Super Bowl
Oh,
tickets.
yeah.
You know what I mean? All the the mighty dollar. Yeah, the almighty dollar. That takes away the fun of it. You know, we had to pay. Well, we went to Houston when they beat Carolina.
Right.
I don't want to tell you what we paid to scalpers. You know. So
And that's the only way we could do it.
that's the only way. And you're right. And it was an awful lot of money for a ticket.
One game, yeah.
That's exactly right. And that's the disheartening thing about it.
Right.
You don't.
Huge
Yes,
business,
there you
yeah.
go.
Right.
They didn't go by seniority or anything like that.
Right.
If you were here, well, we didn't. I don't know if it's because we didn't own the team then, at that time, so it doesn't count to us.
Right.
But the Fidelity and now Putnam, you know, that's who's always going to get it.
Right.
Just like when you go to World Series at Fenway Park or opening day, all the big shots. Years ago was with derbies on, you know, 150 years ago, 70 years ago. Now it's, you know, just like politicians, you know, looking for a vote. You know?
Exactly right.
And that's what's disheartening about it. You can't say to your grandsons, well, I got tickets. Come on, I'm going to treat you guys.
How you doing,
You
guys?
can go to the Super Bowl. Stuff like that. Those days are gone.
What are we on television here?
Those days are gone.
Any other stories that you want to kind of bring back? Any special memories that you have about a special play or a special game?
Oh, not really. I think I've said enough with my last statement.
There you go. No problem. I appreciate the time.
That's the way I feel.
We're here at Gillette Stadium talking to John, probably the greatest
His
fan.
nickname, everybody knows him by Scubby.
Scubby.
Scubby, from his last name, Scubby.
All right, Scubby.
Scubby. Yeah, Scubby.
Well, I appreciate you spending a few minutes with us and sharing some of the memories. I mean, that's the idea of this Total Patriots book, is to relive some of these things. We go back to the games that were played on Friday night, or the Monday night games, or the games that some of the obscure places that they played. You know, the Shakers, the Sullivans, the Foxborough stadiums, and now certainly Gillette Stadium. And, the
It's a
memories.
beautiful stadium, no question.
Right, we have a lot of good memories, and and I just hope the future continues for the Patriots fans and the football team, and so my grandsons can enjoy a great future as fans of the Patriots. And like I say, let them have an outstanding record like they've had. You know. And it was a pleasure talking to you.
You know,
my son Jay.
But one thing, Bob, I'll tell you, probably one of the biggest memories that I would like you to think about, and let your fans think about at with the Patriots, is the day that we thought the Patriots were going to move from here and move to either St. Louis or wherever they were going to, you know, when they were going to leave completely. We stood in the stands almost in shock with probably at the time 40,000 other fans. The Patriots players came around and shook hands and waved and thanked us and everything else because they had no idea what their future was going to be about. And that memory alone, I mean, sticks with you, and it's very, very pleasing now to see what they've evolved into and what the Kraft family has brought us here. You know, from where we were that day to where we are today, winning the 3 Super Bowls and everything else, and you know, being always a great team and having great personnel and everything else, we couldn't ask for a better franchise at this point. All we need is another Super Bowl, guys. Let's bring it home.
At least,
And we can thank the Crafts for everything they've done. Believe me.
I mean, they put us.
Oh yeah, they put us
a lot of stability.
They really put us on the map.
Yeah.
Solidly.
Absolutely, absolutely. But that day, I'll never forget that day. I mean, it was, I turned to my dad and I said, you know, Dad, we've been going to football games every Sunday my entire life from what I can remember with him. And I kind of grew up at sporting events with my dad, my brother and I, Michael. And to be honest with you, I said to him, what are we going to do on Sundays now? You know what I mean?
It goes away, right?
That's true.
You know? Because it's such a big part of our lives and our tailgating buddies and friends. I mean, you know, we've got such a good group that we've met them in the parking lot or in the stands, and we've been together for, you know, some of us 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, but we're a big family, and that's what it's all about now. You know, so let's go win one and let's Super Bowl. That's what it's all about, guys.
All right, very cool.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks.